I'm just going straight into it.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi guys, I have no idea what happened there. Facebook must not like me anymore. So what I'll do is I'll quickly share it, guys. I do apologise about this. I'm actually quite embarrassed about it.
yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Even though,
I'm
so can you see that, guys? Well, clearly, if I can hear my voice echoed back.
No, I got it now.
You got it now, or you haven't?
Yep.
Oh, that's brilliant. Right, guys, I'll bang this out.
I'm just going to share this out.
Thank you very much.
Hooray!
Hey, second time lucky. I'm so sorry, guys. I do apologise. I do not know what the hell's happened. Oh, it must be the spirits going, I'm sick of that fucking gobshite being on. But that's us. Woo! We're here. Yay! So tonight, guys, we are celebrating our second birthday with the second show. So I'll sing happy birthday because it's going to be not only just our birthday, but obviously Fathom Seekers Paranormal. So when I sing, this will be hilarious. Try to get this big long name out. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday, dear Phantom Seekers Paranormal and Fools and Ghouls. Happy birthday to us. Hip hip hooray! Yay! So, as everybody can see, we are joined tonight with two friends. We have Eileen from Phantom Seekers Paranormal and we've got Chris from Ghost Squad Scotland. Now I'm going to quickly just get into the comments. I can see it on Things Network. Thank you, thank God. Hi Nigel. Hi Ellen. Hi Noreen. Thank you very much, Nigel. Thank you, William. I'm saying thank you, William. Hi, William. So, guys, Eileen, do you want to tell everybody who you are, where you're from, who you're about?
Okay, my name's Eileen and I'm the founder member of Phantom Seekers Paranormal. Phantom Seekers has been going for 3 years on Wednesday. It was our birthday on Wednesday.
Lovely.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm a bit more than 3 myself.
You're only 21, Eileen.
I want the rest. But I mean, I've been part of the paranormal world for a long time now, in various disguises and various groups and various roles. And I won't bore you with all the background information.
Oh, you don't bore me, Eileen.
Oh, I've been through lots of different groups in one capacity or another, and I got to the point, like we all do at some stage, that we just had enough and we were going to jack it in. I was just fed up with all the bitching and backstabbing and money grabbing and the usual.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about that. And I was pulled back from the brink by my teammate Nicola Dignan. She pulled me back and said, you know, don't give up. You should do something for yourself. Don't worry about all the assholes. Just do it for yourself. And that's how Phantom Seekers was born on the 10th of July, 2021. And it's been going very well, I think. Well, I'll leave that for other people to judge, but I think it's been quite successful today.
I would say definitely, Eileen, because do you know what, guys? What I always admire about Eileen, and I'm going to make her blush now, is Eileen always says good morning. Good morning every morning about around 5-6 o'clock in the morning. Eileen's always up with the birds. And she says good morning. And the thing that I most admire about you, Eileen, is you always ask people what's on their mind. What's on your mind?
Well, it's nice to get to know your audience, isn't it?
Yeah.
The good morning thread is kind of become a bit of a trademark for me, though. Libby, because I did it in all the other groups that I was sort of moderating for. I kind of started the Good Morning threads, and I think that's a very important part of any group or page, because I think you've got to be relatable, and in order to be relatable, you've got to be real, you've got to be contactable, and you've got to be able to communicate with people, you know. And I find that the Good Morning thread is a very good way to actually get to know your audience and for people to get to know you. And I'll tell you, I won't bore you again, but there's that one story that I can tell you from years ago when I was doing the Good Morning thread for another big group that I was part of for a while. I used to get a lot of, you know what it's like when you're doing these things, you get a lot of personal messages, you get lots of friend requests from strange men in America that want to run away with you. And I remember I had a message from a little man, and I thought, oh God, here we go again, you know. And I opened them because very, very often I didn't even open them because they were all quite predictable, weren't they? And I read this message. It was a little man. And he lived in Liverpool, actually. We were talking about Liverpool. He was from Liverpool. And he was messaging me to say thank you to me because I was the only person that he spoke to for days on end, albeit through a computer and on the keyboard, you know. I know, and I thought, you know, there must be quite a lot of other people like that. It's like when you're watching the telly, isn't it? You think you know the people behind the screen. And they're in your living room, and they're part of your world, but you don't know what's going on, you know, with the people the other side. And anyway, I got into conversation with this little man, and turned out he was a widow man. He'd lost his wife, he'd lost contact with his family. He was very depressed. All he had was the Facebook groups that he was in, you know, and clearly suffering from quite bad depression. He wasn't eating, he wasn't sleeping, and anyway, I eventually managed to persuade him to go to the doctor, and he got his depression treated, and he's now actually working as a bereavement counsellor. He still keeps you know. So if all the years I've been doing, and all the thousands of people that I've said good morning to, if I've helped just one person like that, then it's all worthwhile.
That's amazing.
And that's why I guess it's very, very important to acknowledge people, because you just don't know the story behind that simple little good morning, you know.
I guess that's why we do podcasts as well. It is about reaching out to the people. And as I've always said, I don't think of my viewers as my viewers. I think of them as friends and family. And see, again, you don't know people's stories. You don't know about anybody that really watches your show. All you know is they come in every Friday, they come in every Thursday, they say their hellos, they try, they watch, they do their thing. And if I can be the last person that they see, God love them for me being the last person that they see. But if I'm the last person that they see and I put a smile on their face, Eileen, I'm the most happiest woman in the world.
Well, I feel exactly the same way. Exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you know, you get your regulars, you get your little core of people coming on along all the time, and you do get to know a little bit about them, you know.
Yeah.
The little snippets that they come along, and you know, I've got my little favourites. They know who they are.
I'm one of them.
And the thing is as well. And the thing is as well is having shows like this. I mean, we're all into the paranormal, but this particular show, it's not just about the paranormal, but it's just about the people all getting together and enjoying ourselves and having fun whilst talking about all things paranormal. You know, there's a lot of podcasts there where it's all way too serious, and there'll be the odd joke cracked here and there, but in general, it's about having fun. And when you've got like the five of us, we're all into the paranormal, we're all doing our own thing in our own section of the paranormal, but we're here to enjoy ourselves and discuss things in a light-hearted way.
Also, when it gives people the opportunity to see you as a normal person, rather than snippets of you on investigations, you know, they see you out if you do a live or you do your videos when you're on an investigation. That's another me with another hat on, you know. This is Eileen speaking to my friends. This isn't Phantom Seekers investigating, you know, and they're different. So it gives people the chance to actually get to know you a wee bit more.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh God. I mean, that's the main thing. When you've got people who do come in regularly, as you say, you get to know them and you get to know their quirks and you get to know, like, people talk about professionalism, right? I'll use that word. I don't like using that word because that just doesn't suit me, right? But professionalism. Oh, hello, Nick. Oh, Nick, we had an awful bother at the beginning. Oh,
It was
but
Nick's fault.
this is Nick. Oh, you two have met each other. What am I doing?
Yes.
You have met each other.
I've met him. We've met before.
I know.
We've met.
Ooh.
Hey, I'll be up there.
So, like, obviously, doing podcasting, you do get to know their quirks. And I was saying, like, obviously, I think last night or the other night, obviously about professionalism, right? So I hate that word with a vengeance, William. I hate it with a vengeance. I need to read the comments anyway. And the next thing you know, like, I know who, like, out my viewers, I know who I could be professional with, and I know who I can have my laugh and joke with, because there's a lot of people who sense of humour wise might be a lot different to mine. We can do our shows where we are very much having a laugh, but we have the serious side. But then we could do shows that are very, very serious, and that's when you see Lois as a comedian. Well, you see Lois as what she thinks she's a comedian, and then you've got you. We're seeing any use. Oh, you laughing at me, bastard. So then you have your side of me, that side, but then I can also be very, very serious, and I could do the serious shows like when we did the Veteran 22 hours. We did autism awareness. We've done other things in the past, and I think because obviously I got complimented recently for doing such things as awarenesses, as autism awareness. We've done mental health awareness in the past. I would love to go back and view it again. But this is what we're here for. We're here for a good time. We're not here for drama. We're here for a good time, having a laugh, chilling out, and making people feel welcome. That's why I always read my comments. Make the viewers feel welcome, because see, without the viewers, we wouldn't have these shows. So give them that wee bit of respect to where you're reading the comments, and I'm actually about to get into a brawl with Baldy. He better just knock it off.
The thing is as well, is with our show on a Thursday, that is more the serious side of what we all do. But we have a little bit of a joke and a bit of banter in there thrown in as well. Whereas tonight's show is more, as the title says, Fools and Ghouls. We have a bit of a laugh. We have more of a laugh and more banter in this show than we do in the other one. And this one's more having fun within the paranormal, whereas the other one, little bit of fun, but being a bit more serious. So that's the serious side of us. And this is more the fun-loving side of us, as well as being into the paranormal. So we get two sides of the coin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, guys, I'm going to quickly run through these comments because they're building. I'll tell you, they're giving me work tonight in this comment section.
I've waited my motley crew across for YouTube and my Facebook page.
Sam says, "How has been watching this with me? Happy birthday, everyone! I won't be around long tonight, sadly, but I will try to get on if and when I can." Oh, Samantha, thank you very much. William says, Friday night is spooky night. Friday night's fun spooky. So Sam's asking what's on the agenda tonight. Is it a birthday gathering? It's a birthday gathering, but it's also to find out more about Eileen and who she is, what she does. And we're going to interrogate her. Scott says, "Evening, folks. Sorry I'm late. Shut up, Baldy. I've just missed saying that. Laura says, hey everyone, lovely to see you all. Lovely to see you, Eileen and Lo. Lovely to see you, Laura. You're looking good as usual. Sam says, Wayne seeding, we don't do CDs, so that's just as well. We do it because of the love of everything paranormal. You lose that if you're too serious. Hiya, Christine. Evening, dear. You're not talking to me, Baldy. Hiya, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Sam says, Samantha says,
The chat, Chris. Thank you.
I know, I just like to say hiya to Chris so he feels welcome because I don't want him thinking didn't say hiya.
No, I was just saying to all my friends, I brought them out from my YouTube channel to your live and I see them all the time.
That's awesome.
You're a darling, thank you. Sam says, oh no, here's Nick. I say, oh no, here's Baldy. Evening, Sir Nick. Gear by you, you're not stealing them. Professional. William says professional. Who's professional? Certainly know this show. Samantha says, I love you really. She says, I can't spell. I haven't got any better since the last time. William says, I'm professional at origami. Scott says, we do laid back regardless of who the guest is, but still take what we do serious. You need to add some banter to podcasts. It helps flow and is more enjoyable. No, I swear to God, the night everybody's making me work, I'm like, Nori says, if you don't take yourself too serious, you are more relatable. Samantha, that's how you get viewers to become fans. Hello, how do you pronounce that name?
Meredith.
I am so sorry, I'm dyslexic. Scott says, or either that or without my specs as well doesn't help. I lost my specs yesterday. Scott says, too much drama in the paranormal. Some folk thrive in it though, which is totally wrong.
Hang on, what the hell?
Well, Hiya Donna, how you doing? That's not to you, Donna, that's to Wayne, because he knows I have no respect. Baldy, yep, I'm still about. You're just jealous of who I've got on Sunday. I'm not speaking to you, don't you speak to me. Samantha says, I say truly dumb things in live feeds, so do I. Donna says, oh, happy birthday, thank you. Right. Scott says I've already stole him. Hi, Scott, do you know what, Scott? I will fight you for him. You and me outside. Robert says hi, gang. Kate says hi. She says happy birthday, thank you, my darling. Donna says I miss you all since this is a new Facebook. Otherwise, hats all lost some friends. It's horrible when it happens. Thank you very much. Scott, you're killing me here. Eileen, we need to hook up again in Edinburgh.
We do. I met up with Scott and Laura and Sarah and Tiami a wee while ago. We had a really nice day going down Greyfriars. I needed subtitles though.
Oh my God, I am so glad. Right, Eileen, settle this. You can understand me, okay, can't you?
I can understand you, but yeah.
Yeah, I went.
Leachy is a different language altogether.
Wayne, that's not funny. I've no specs. Pass me them over.
Sorry. Hang on.
I love what Scott just said.
I'm in Roy Orbison mode.
Very nice.
Oh, wow. So what is the Eileen does me? I asked just so that I know it's. Oh, sorry. I thought it was Scott there, and I was going to get Samantha cheeks thinking it was Scott.
Sam.
I'm sorry, Sam. I love you. I was ready to say, you know what Eileen does? It's because I've no spectacles.
Samantha must have missed a little bit before then.
Yeah, I didn't think.
Yep.
I don't think she came on straight away.
Samantha, I'm the founder member of Phantom Seekers Paranormal. That's who I am. If you haven't found Phantom Seekers Paranormal, go look on Facebook.
Pickle Tom's in the house.
Hey, Pickle Tom. So, Eileen, tell us about your first experience with paranormal.
My very, very first.
Yeah.
Well, my very first, but I didn't know it was paranormal at the time, was probably preschool. Before I even started school. I used to see an old man in the house, and nobody else could see this old man. I never did find out who he was, but I could see this old man plain as day, and I used to talk to him, you know. And people say you have imaginary friends. There was nothing imaginary about him at all. He was, you know, to me, he was very, very real. So that was preschool. And then when I started school, he kind of disappeared. I didn't see him very often after I actually started school. So that would be my very earliest, what I now know to be paranormal experience. But then I think the next time when I was consciously aware of something not worldly was when I was about 7 or 8. And I was at my granny's in Liverpool. We were talking about Liverpool earlier. And my granny lived in a really old, big 3-story sort of typical Liverpool sort of street thing, but it's a big 3-story thing. Wavertree Road in Chewbrook.
Yeah.
And we used to get packed off down during the school holidays, you know, put in the coach and go down and spend your summer holidays away and annoy your granny. And I used to sleep in a little bed in this room right at the very, very top of the stairs. And there was a rocking chair in the bedroom. And every night at 7 o'clock, the rocking chair would start to go. Every single night at 7 o'clock, this rocking chair would go. So that was my first kind of, I knew something was, you know, and I can remember saying to my granny about it, and she was saying, oh, that's nothing, don't worry about it. And her neighbour was a lady called Lily. We called her Auntie Lily, and she was a spirit medium. And
oh, wow.
She, don't tell your mum and dad, but I used to go through to my Auntie Lily's when she was giving readings. And that was really where my fascination with the paranormal world began. Listen to my giving readings, and she would tell me all sorts of things about myself when I was that young. And I would sit in the corner when they were doing, you know, the glass on the table and all that carry on. And I saw glasses flying off the table and smashing against the walls and all that carry on, you know. And I was absolutely hooked, and it did not scare me at all, you know. Other people were there, no, she shouldn't be seeing this, she's too young. But I was absolutely engrossed, enthralled in it, you know. My Auntie Lily said to me, don't be frightened, because I was saying about ghosts, you know, well, they hurt me and blah, blah. And she said, no, ghosts are just people that you don't know.
Oh, that's a good way. You know what that is?
I like that.
And I was I've never, even now, I don't have any fear of anything paranormal at all. When we're out in investigations and things might get creepy, I'm not fazed at all, you know, I'm never frightened. So my experiences go really quite far back.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, life goes on and you grow up and such like, and that kind of side of things, so, you know, you go through school, you college, you start working, you discover boys and all that carry on. And then you have domestic responsibilities. But I still had like the interest in paranormal, and I was still watching all the rubbish on telly that everybody else watches, you know, and I was still sort of interested in it. And then for a little while as a full-time carer, and I didn't have a great deal of time. I was carer to Tommy's dad who had Alzheimer's, and then he passed away, and all of a sudden I had lots of free time. And that's when I started to look at local groups, what local groups are around. Yeah, I would go out on investigations, go out on events. And things sort of snowballed, and I joined 2 or 3 different groups and got more actively involved. Went through various groups as moderator, team, whatever. And then ultimately moved on and started Phantom Seeker.
Oh wow!
It goes a long way back, and along the way, the people I met Wayne. I didn't actually meet him in person, but I've come across an awful lot, and I've made a lot of friends.
Yeah, oh definitely. Chris, I do realise you need to go soon as well.
Yes, I do.
I do apologise to you. I do apologise to you tonight. It's been crazy. I'm sure it was spirits that are probably like that. I'm not going to let her do a show.
I wanted to actually just point this out what Tom said, by the way. It was actually about you, Chris. It was for a split second when you came here, you thought you were Robert White. Looks like they could be related. Uncanny. If you know who Robert is, right, Chris?
I've heard the name. I don't know. What is he? Was he into UFOs or was he a ghost hunter?
He's appeared a few times on like some of Tom's shows. He's actually from Australia, so I've met him a couple of times. Really nice guy. He follows a lot with what we watch on the network. So he's really cool. He's great.
Mm-hmm. But I'll quickly just jump into the comments as well, guys. I had my phone in quiet. So Tim says, hey guys, hey Tim. Laura says, also one of the loveliest people I've ever met is Eileen. I've got to agree that she's the Queen of Scotland.
I'll see you with that, Laura.
You better start learning that wave of that.
Thank you, Laura.
William says, 6 people on the screen. Is this a world record? Believe me, if I could squeeze another 4 on, we'll make it for 10. Eileen has gifts, Donna says. Sam says, hi there, Eileen. I was interested to hear about what she does because I assume she was part of a team or runs a team for the paranormal. Pickle Tom, we've read that one. Validation, thank you. Terry 2 Willies, yoo-hoo! Kate says, Pickle Tom. Tim says, hey everyone. Tom says, one thing I do wonder, and I thought of yesterday when Lois mentioned about a paranormal investigator that had passed. Do they reach out to their fellow investigators after passing to give validation? I was speaking about Cliff Jones. Cliff Jones used to be, for people who don't know who Cliff Jones is, Cliff Jones used to be one of our biggest viewers, our biggest fans, and he, not just myself, but he would go into a lot of podcasts and he would give his knowledge about history. He was really, just not just about history, but different things. And unfortunately, we lost Cliff at the start of the year with another paranormal investigator, Scott Lee Bauer. Aye. So, I often wonder that I'm still in contact with Cliff's wife. I like to go in every so often and pop my head in and make sure that she's doing okay. And if you definitely check out White Rose Paranormal, they're really, really good. But definitely, what's everybody's thoughts about Tom's question?
That's a really good question, to be honest with you.
In fact, I'll make it even funnier. Right? Heaven forbid, I know I'm going to say heaven forbid, touch Harry wood, nothing happens. If we all passed away, right, this includes obviously the chat, what's the one word you would use so that other investigators could know it was you?
Rolos.
Rose.
Rolos. Pass the Rolos.
What about you, Chris?
I don't know. I've never really thought about that before. I've never really thought of that. I actually had a friend. I actually had a really good friend. His name was Mike the Naked Bigfoot, and he was an investigator in the United States, and he passed away nearly 2 years ago this Halloween. It was on Halloween's Eve he passed away. He was a voodoo priest, and I had a few weird experiences with him because he came back.
Oh wow!
That's
Oh wow!
That's
good. At least he's speaking out. Lynn, what about you, love?
If I said Yulo Castle, people everywhere around here knows who it is. They know, yeah. I live there.
What about you, Wayne?
Wasn't it Houdini that said that when he passes away, he will come back to his wife and say a specific word to her?
Yep.
Wow.
And it would have been a word that only she'd have known. I would like to think that if, as a paranormal investigator, we're going out with my team and I was to pass away, I would love to come back and haunt the hell out of them all just for the fun of it.
Yep.
Along with a lot of other people.
I've got a list of people.
Who shall I start with first?
Well,
I mentioned like the Dead Sea Scrolls. It just keeps going and going.
Yeah. You annoyed me when I was 4 years old, so I'll start with you.
What about you, Nick?
That's such a really good question. Again, I've never thought of it myself, but I think honestly, I think we, come to think of it now after all these years, I think we did try doing that once with an investigator who passed away several years ago. And not only just trying to contact, but more importantly, I think that we've gotten visitations from that investigator who's passed.
Do you know what? I go to a circle every Wednesday, and we had an absolutely top lady there who passed away a couple of years ago, and she's been in this circle for many, many years. And we leave a chair out for her, so that when we have the circle, she can come and sit with us, and sometimes you can feel the presence of her. Yeah, she's amazing, or was amazing. Yeah.
Probably. If I passed away, right, honestly, and if I wanted to come back, because I would haunt you all. Believe me, I would haunt you all. I would be at the worst close, but not in a bad way. I'd be very, very, very mischievous. So I would do things like pour out your aftershave and put something else in, just for the sake of it.
You wouldn't. You'd leave bottles of iron brew dotted around my house.
Well, funny enough, Terry Tuberley said iron brew is biggie.
Yeah, no, take my iron brew.
But do you know the one why you would know it was me? Because you would hear me shouting, "Fuck!"
You'd hear that dulcet tone of the bottle opening.
It's like
that's Lois.
It would be interesting to get validation from a fellow investigator, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
It really would. It really would.
I got validation actually from my late dad. Which
wow!
Yes, and without a shadow of a doubt, it was my dad. My dad he's been passed now 9 years, and this must have been about 3 years ago, so it took a wee bit of time. I was actually in an investigation with another group down in England, in the northeast of England, and we were at an old coaching house, and they were doing the spirit board, and I wasn't even on it. I was observer, and I was just standing out to the side, and the planchette kept coming across to me. I wasn't participating at all. It kept coming across and pointing to me, and some of the other people realised what was happening, and we said, "We think this person wants you, even though you're not on it." And they started asking questions. I was a bit reluctant at first because I got an attachment with something else that's not so nice. Anyway, they started asking questions of whatever was moving the planchette. And through a big long series of questions, it became very evident it was my dad. And I asked sort of questions, and again, I wasn't on the board. I was just speaking while they were all participating. Yep. And I said, look, I come to see you. I've been up to see you in recent times. Tell me, what flowers do I normally bring you? And it went, roses, which is true.
Oh my God.
I didn't bring you roses last time. What did I bring you? Poppies. Because it was Remembrance Sunday. And then I thought, I'm not even on the board. I'm just standing watching. And then I said to him, and this is what really clinched it for me, because I said, look, I have a pet name for you, and you have a pet name for me. I said, what do you call me? What did you call me? What was your pet name for me? And it went, Daddy Bear. So he got it wrong. That's what I called him. He called me Baby Bear. And the fact that he even got it wrong and said Daddy Bear, for me, was even further validation.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
How did that make you feel, Eileen? I mean, first, obviously you weren't taking part in this, and then suddenly this happened.
That was the very, very first time that I'd had any kind of, contact, and it shook me. It really chilled me. It really did. But for me, that was the ultimate invalidation, because this was all coming through the board. I wasn't even on it. And I was in a strange place with strange people in a strange town that I'd never met before.
Jesus.
That's interesting, that. Has any ever been left the coins? Has any ever been left coins?
Been left coins?
Yeah, coins from people that have passed.
I don't think so.
Because it's a thing that they like today. You ever heard of people that maybe it's like rare coins? Because it happened to me with my friend Mike. He spent a lot of the years in the Dominican Republic. He was a voodoo priest. He practiced voodoo with all the natives. I live in Scotland. There's no way that could possibly happen. I went out my back, and right in my back step, there was a coin lying. So I picked it up and looked at it, and it was a Dominican Republic coin.
Oh my God.
From 2001. And I thought, right, that's weird. So I sent that to his son that's still alive. And he's like, that's validation, because his son's a voodoo priest and he's also a psychic and stuff like that. And I thought, that's the end of that. So a week later, I went out my back door again. And on the back coal bunker, there sitting was another coin for the Dominican Republic, can I say it there, from 2001. When it was there.
So random.
Nah.
That is pretty actually random. I can't say that.
I get feathers everywhere all the time. I see feathers actually materialising and falling down from in the room, indoors. They just quite regularly when I open up my laptop in the morning. It's been shut all night, and I open it up. There's a feather on the keyboard. That happens a lot.
Well, do you know what the bizarre thing for me is, right? And I know this sounds really, really bizarre, right? My sister was ill with sepsis, and they didn't think that she was going to make it. And I used to wake up every morning at 7 o'clock, and I would open my back curtains, and always sitting was a magpie, always at 7 o'clock, the same magpie. And I used to say to myself, oh my God, right? So when my sister was starting to get better in community sepsis, this magpie was still there up until my sister got out, and then the magpie thingy. But see, because now obviously, it's 7 months since my gran passed, every time I see magpies now, I'll always do what she used to do with me as a kid. And what she used to do with me as a kid was, she used to say, "Good morning, Mr. Magpie," and I used to think she was off her head. And now she's always got me doing it now. Every time I see a magpie now, I go, "Good morning, Mr. Magpie," and I do try and take pictures of them, but the buggers fly off.
Yeah, it's also if you see two magpies, you say hello, Mr. Magpie and Mrs. Magpie.
Yes. Was it? How does the rhyme go again? Was it Good afternoon, Mr. Mac. 1 magpie for, what is it, sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, and 7 for a secret never to be told.
Never to be told, yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes up. I think there's a few more after that as well.
Yeah, the program, wasn't it, Eileen? It was good. Yeah.
It was good, magpie, but definitely. I would consider magpies to be beautiful birds, and every time I see a magpie, it's amazing. But I always thought it was maybe my papa, to be honest. It was there. As ironic as that and stupid as that may sound, I always thought maybe it was my papa coming back as a magpie. Doubt it, but if he'd to come back as anything, he'd probably come back as a beer can or a pint of beer or something. You know, something like that. Aye, we'd come back as a pub.
Come back as a can of iron brew.
Yeah, come back as a can of iron brew, just don't open it.
Aye. No, that's what Lowe's coming back as.
But you know, I think if it brings someone comfort, if they identify, you know, loved ones that have passed with something that, you know, that could be perceived as a familiar, even if it's not, even if it is just coincidence, if it brings someone a wee bit of comfort, then what's wrong with that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'm going to run into the comments, guys. Terry Two Willie says, "Evening, everyone. Happy Fridays." Happy Friday to you, young man. I bet the other side doesn't let us. I probably no let me in, Terry. Sam says, "I now know what you, Eileen, say. Sorry about that." Sam also says, "Thank you for explaining everything, Eileen. Sorry I didn't hear it sooner." Donna says, "Chris really can read those cards with me on a point."
I'm tired today. I'm tired.
You will be. Kate, Pikachu. He's going to say Pikachu. Tom says, "Oh, I guarantee that when I pass, if I'm able to, I'll be messing with everyone and they will know it's me." I can believe that.
I'll definitely know it's him, especially if I smell the scent of alcohol. That's definitely him.
Yeah. Terry says, "I am Brew." Sam says, "I must leave now, guys, but I would definitely just say board bugger or by parakeet dupa to Wayne. He would know."
Yes.
Kate says, "Nick, please."
Please.
Chris says, "Don't worry, there's only a few."
That bees refer to when we play Minecraft and I get attacked.
That's something. That's something that's happened to me recently. You see, bumblebees.
Really?
They will not leave me alone. Ever since my mum passed away 4.5 months ago, bumblebees will not leave me alone. I'll be doing my card reading in my car. I always do the card readings mostly in the car, except for a Saturday night and a Sunday night. But yesterday there was a bee flew in, landed on my steering wheel, took off, and everybody's seen it in the live, and it just went back out the other window again. And I keep seeing them all the time. Bees.
Aren't bees supposed to be quite significant? Spiritually,
they are significant. Well, I did tell
it to the bees. If someone passes or something happens, that's what you're supposed to do. Go tell it to the bees, aren't you?
So I
didn't even know that. That was actually quite a...
And in fact, one of the episodes in Outlander was tell it to the bees.
Yeah.
It's an old Scottish tradition, Lois.
Oh, well, you know what? I probably sound like I'm racist towards Scotland. I really am. Definitely, I didn't know that one without a shadow of a doubt. And I love wee bumblebees. I've got to be fair. Oh, there's that Chris. He comes on my body list again. Don't worry, there's only a few of you on my list with laughing faces.
It's when you were talking about haunting people. I only said it in the chat because there's only a few people.
Terry says, "I know what to say to you, Lolo. 2 willies." Definitely, Terry 2 willies. Tim says, I think the stone tape theory is very legitimate. Possibly, I've always been drawn to ancient corridors and entrances. I feel it somehow. What do you guys think? So, what's everybody's opinion?
I do believe it.
Yeah, I definitely think stone tape theory has got a lot of possibilities to it. Considering everything we know of consists of energy of one form or another, and so when that energy gets to a maximum, something happens to disperse that energy, and if that means recording something that happens at that time, regardless of whether it's anything nasty or just, I don't know, someone walking past a certain tree.
Yes.
At that particular moment in time when that energy suddenly bursts, recording what happens at that particular time, there's no reason why it can't play back. Like obviously a videotape. And that's where the stone tape theory comes into play.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very good plausible theory, and I don't see why it can't be legitimate.
See, I think that as well, because these buildings, especially ancient ones, you can feel the energy when you walk through some of the past the wall, through the corridors, into big. Sometimes I only have to look at them, and just looking at them, you can feel the energy. It draws me in, and it's like if you could get something to capture that energy coming off something and put it on a tape recorder or a record player, it'd be interesting to see what sound you get off that. Because these days they're doing it with plants, aren't they, in trees, and they're putting the electrodes on, and they're getting all the noise off them. Stunning, absolutely stunning. So yeah, I do believe in that, and I do like the ancient buildings because I get more of a buzz going to the old buildings than I do with the new.
Sometimes when you walk into a place, you just get that feeling, don't you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you one place that affected me quite dramatically, and I didn't understand why, was the Colosseum in Rome. The first time I visited the Colosseum, I just felt overwhelmed. I really did. And I was just there as a tourist, I was just there, like everybody else.
Maybe past life, Eileen. Maybe you've had a past life there, because sometimes when you do.
But I felt quite overwhelmed by the Colosseum.
I've always wanted to go to the Paris catacombs.
I've been there.
Oh, wow.
That with all the bones are stacked up.
Yeah, and that goes, even though there's only a small portion of it that you can access. I mean, that's part of a large. Yeah, it's like a part of a larger subterranean set of tunnels throughout under the entire city of Paris.
The sewer is fun as well. The sewer tour in Paris.
Sorry, what was that?
That's right.
You go underground, you can go on the sewer tour. The old sewers. And interestingly, the sewers under the streets of Paris mirror the streets above. And that's how people find their way along.
It's not just the sewers. It's not just the sewers. You can even you can gain access at times into the catacombs. I'm saying into like subways or like or even buildings or houses that have holes in them that they have dug underground tunnels to gain access to. I mean, it's illegal. It's illegal, of course, but they still have them throughout the entire city.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the very person they ask is Lauren. Happy birthday, she says. Chris says happiest of birthdays. Noni says I always say the same when I see a magpie. Chris says if that's how it's spelled, it's perfect. Where's your papa? Hi Nicola. Kate says I often wonder if time is relevant when we pass. Does that mean we could come back at any point in the past, not just the present or the future? That's quite an interest. We're actually getting quite a load of interesting conversation tonight with questions.
I gotta say, I gotta click on just one comment here. I got another viewer here, Rowana. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I've seen her on some, or not these lives, but on some previous shows I used to do. And she's another international viewer. She's watching.
Oh,
she's watching.
Hi, Roanna.
She's watching from Belgium.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
Before I go though, because I'll need to be going shortly. I've only got 2 minutes to go.
Yeah.
The other place that's like Paris Catacombs is obviously you've got underneath the Vatican. You ever heard of that? You ever heard of
Well,
the
funny enough, we're coming up with the Vatican.
I've had a private audience with the Pope.
Oh, have you? Oh, wow.
Pope John Paul II. If you go under the altar in the Vatican, that's where all the tombs are, all the popes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, in another place I could think of, it's not necessarily underground. It's above. It's this time located in Palermo, Sicily, which this is also another place that is sometimes referred to as the catacombs, but in reality, the full name of it is actually the Capuchin Catacombs.
The Capuchin monks.
That's correct. Yeah, where they have like 8,000 mummified corpses lined up
hanging
all
up on the
over the walls.
Oh my god!
Oh wow!
They're like complete. They're like complete skeletons, dressed up like in suits or like whatever these people wore in life, and it's just it's unbelievable. I mean, in fact, I bring this show up a lot. About almost 25 years ago now, when Scariest Places on Earth used to air, they did an episode of the Capuchin Catacombs, and that was the first time they had ever been on. It's ever been shown on television. Very first time before that. And it's funny, you see these you see them going, and even though it's Italian, you could still see them say no film, no photo. But yet here they were able to get permission to film in the Capuchin Catacombs.
That's just given me an idea on how to decorate my walls in Castle Spookanori now.
Yeah, you've got to go, honey.
I need to go.
Right, thank you very much for coming, Chris. It's been a pleasure. Bye, love.
I'll send you that schedule later this afternoon.
Okay. Thank you, sweetheart.
It's fine. Right, catch you later.
Right, bye, babe. Bye, bye. Now there was 5. I'll come back to Kate's question in a minute. Bees drown. Hi, Donna. Bye, Donna. Even. Oh, there's my favourite. There's Craig. He is an absolute darling. Guys, please check him out. Ghostwave Paranormal. They've got a YouTube. They've got a Facebook page. Check them out. Nicholas says yes. Spot on. Wayne. Tim says thank you, guys. Always a pleasure. To answer any questions you've got, sweetheart. Nicholas says, for me, you could really feel it. Chris is off to work. Take care of Pickle Nick. I'll try. Hey, Joe. Pickle Tom says, sounds like a... Tom's World.
Capuchin Catacombs for This Is Tom's World.
Yeah. Nicholas says, yes, I'd love to see that, Nick. Your favourite? I thought I was your favourite. But you told me last night you didn't want your girlfriend to know. Remember what happened in Vegas? Stays in Vegas. I didn't want to say. Oh, come on, Tom, you're putting me off here.
Yeah, really.
Oh, that's what happens when you have a bit in the side. They always appear up.
Covered love.
Oh. Wait, hang on 1 second here. Sound is gone over here.
Oh, Joanna.
Joanna. I hope no one can empty hear us.
Hey, hold on.
Oh, Joanna.
No, I've got sound.
I got sound on my side.
I've got
Tom
sound.
says he has sound.
Yeah.
Joe and Tom are laughing at me.
They are.
But tonight, I don't know what's been happening tonight because Nick, honestly, at the beginning I'll honestly say it was a shit show because we came live the first time and I tried to send the link obviously to the guys and Wayne got a funny video which I hadn't ever seen before and Eileen got a video that was funny. I don't know what was happening with StreamYard tonight. It was a total wipeout. But we're
That's what you
here.
call the Spooky Network. The Spooky Network.
Exactly. But do you know what, guys? We've came back, we've bounced back, and here we are. It's brilliant. It's been a good night, and I hope you've enjoyed it, Eileen.
I have so far, yes.
Just real quick, yeah. I guess it's her internet. That's probably why she's not getting the sound. It's not necessarily everybody. Everybody else is getting sound, but I think her connection is just being it because I sent her the link if she wanted to tune in. I didn't realize her internet was kind of being an issue, but there's always next time, Rorana. You can always watch next time.
Yeah, definitely. Joe says we're trying something new tonight. I'm quite scared when I read that comment. Noreen says Debbie's live went off on things. Network had to go over the sacred spiral. God only knows. God only knows. So, Eileen, if you had to go to any country in the world, explore any place in the world, where would it be?
I would like to return to United States, and I would like to investigate the Queen Mary.
Oh,
I've been on the Queen Mary.
Oh, the Queen Mary, yes.
Queen Mary. I've been aboard the Queen Mary, but only to eat. I was there for dinner, and I not to investigate. And that's some years ago now. So I would really like to go back and with that hat on and investigate the Queen Mary.
See, that's wow. I haven't even gone to yet, and I've been trying to get out there for years. Oh, guys, real quick, we got another viewer here, another international one. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. It's 1 second here because
you carry on, Nick, because I ain't saying it because I'll slaughter it.
I don't want to. Well, I'll just say this. I've spoken to him. I sent the link to him. He's watching all the way from Bulgaria.
Wow.
Oh wow, Bulgaria. We're surely having the international tonight with the international show.
To answer to answer his question though, these tunnels. I was talking about the Capuchin catacombs in Palermo, Sicily, in Italy. The other tunnels we were talking about before was the Paris catacombs in France.
And then you have Quo Vadis in Rome.
Yep.
Quo Vadis catacombs in Rome. They're quite interesting to go to. Oh
wow! So you guys were talking about the Queen Mary.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
No, you're fine. Hello, sorry for no, it's fine, no problem.
We appreciate you tuning in. So seriously.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
I mean, the Queen Mary is a beautiful ship, and it absolutely reeks of history. The ambience, everything about it. It's just a grand old. Well, it was then. It may not be now. This is some years ago. A really grand old lady, and I would just love to go back. It was a missed opportunity because at that time I was more interested in fast cars and fast men and things like that. Paranormal was kind of like a window. And it was a bit of a wild time in the States. And I went to Alcatraz at that time as well, and that was very interesting. I would like to go back and investigate in Alcatraz. But they were all, with hindsight, I can remember thinking, well, this, really special places. You really got a feeling.
Yeah.
And at Alcatraz, particularly when I walked into the sort of the dining hall area, and it's quite a big open room, and it just kind of, you get coming over you.
Yeah.
But I would really like to do the Queen Mary. I would really like to have the chance to do that.
So how did you feel?
I think.
Sorry, Nick, when you go, madam.
I always think of the Queen Mary a lot, not just for a lot of the ghost stories that are associated with that place, but and I know there's so many different stories involving the deaths of those that were on the ship. Like they've died all different kinds of ways in all different time periods. But the one that sticks with me most half of the time though is what happened back in 1942 when there was that horrific tragedy with the Queen Mary when it had that collision with the HMS Carousel. It was obviously wasn't necessarily part of World War II, but you guys remember hearing that story, right? With the HMS Carousel collision.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was where they were just going offshore and they accidentally ram into one of their own ships, the HMS Carousel. Literally went right through the heart of the Carousel.
Oh my God.
And literally over almost 340 British sailors lost their lives from this accident.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Well,
that is a lot.
And I'm not, and to make matters worse, we're not just talking about people who drowned as a result. All these men that were in the water, they were screaming, just trying to get away, but the gravitational pull of the ship was through pretty fast, and unfortunately, many of them actually had a very brutal death. Many of them went right through the propellers.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God!
With the Queen Mary, I would like to go there just to do an extensive investigation, just in the first class swimming pool where Jacqueline Torrin drowned. That's it. I wouldn't want to do anything else. Just the first class swimming pool.
See, when you're
a very active area, doesn't it?
Yeah.
See, when you're sitting talking about that, I can actually remember that when I was admin on Colin Corner's page, SGA, I used to do I used to do articles and specials, and one of them I'm sure I did was the Queen Mary. Just when you talked about that incident with the person drowning in the pool, and that just it registered there. SGA, that's been a long time now, Eileen. That's been quite a few years now. I haven't actually spoke to Colin in a good while, but I hope he's well. I really do hope he's well, because he is a good guy, Colin.
I've not even seen his name about,
No, I don't think he's doing paranormal anymore as much as such. But he's a really good guy. I've still got a lot of respect for him. I'm actually still feared of him. I used to be, it wasn't that I was feared of Colin, but I used to say, I was know nothing that I haven't said to Colin. I says, but Colin used to be like meeting your father-in-law for the first time. That's how I describe Colin as, because I have actually interviewed Colin. I did, believe it or not, I did quite a shite, well, on my part it was shite because I was as nervous as hell. Podcast, I used to do mini podcasting in SGA, and Colin and Mark were my first people to interview, and my God, I have never sat and sweated so much. I thought Dr. Cal Cooper was nerve-wracking, but oh my God, Colin and Mark at the same time.
Cal's an interesting person, isn't he? There's another name.
Oh, he is. Do you know, in fact, Nick was there that night. Do you know, in that whole interview, I just could not relax, and I kept saying to the guys, "We need to be professional, guys. We need to be professional. I need to behave." And do you know what? I was so sitting there, and you could see my face in the interview, and I was so nervous, and I was prim, proper, everything. I was like, oh my God, I've never sweat so much. So if you had to say what guest has terrified you the most, I would say Dr. Cal Cooper. But do you know, the thing is, Cal is actually a nice guy. He really is a nice guy.
He doesn't come across as imposing, does he? He comes across...
But it's just because, know what it is, it's my level of... it's my level of confidence. It's like, Cal is like an intellectual guy, whilst I'm just... see if we went to school together, he would be the intellectual guy and I would be the class clown. So it would be like... It was just dead nerve-wracking, because I've never had the confidence ever to approach people like Dr. Cal Cooper. Shane, but I'm quite... Eileen, I've only started probably maybe tail end of last year. Maybe not, it would have been further back in that I've actually started approaching people to come on the show. And now I've found a show, found confidence. Now I'm in everybody's inboxes. What are you doing on a Thursday or Friday night? Do you fancy coming on?
Give yourself a bit more, Libby. You really do.
I did.
People, you know?
Aye, but now I've just honestly, I've found my muse, and my muse is podcasting. Love podcasting.
Real
Love
quick, Rowanna's leaving. Good night, Rowanna.
Bye, Rowanna.
She messaged me. She's gonna get ready to go to sleep, but she enjoyed watching for a few minutes.
Thank you very much.
And real quick, for the one here, I actually figure out the way how to pronounce his name. It's Dimitar. That's in Bulgarian.
Dimitar.
The language is very difficult for other countries. Small name is Mikko. Dimitar. Letter, it can say like search. Okay.
Right. Thank you.
But yeah. I figured it. I listened to it. It's Dimitar.
But definitely, as it's been some ride. Tom says, "Damn internet, blame I'll go." I certainly did. Really enjoyed tonight, guys. Night, everyone. Night, honey. Thank you very much. Bye, sweet. Tom says, "Can you pronounce your name?"
That's
right. Sorry, he was talking to you. Yeah.
Dimitar. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris says, "Thank you for having me. I'll get all you guys on one night. Have a great night. Thank you very much. Love." When a ship is called carousel, I imagine it goes around in a circle. Oh. Tom, as soon as they said carousel, I was nearly having heart palpitations.
Thursday nights.
Oh, it's killing my soul. Oh, sorry, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. I've seen you now. But
one final word too, I should tell you guys. I mean, this didn't happen, unfortunately, when we were live, but all these international viewers that are coming in, we actually had one that commented on our show yesterday, but it was after we were live. And it's actually someone who's not only interested in this. I don't know if he's really an investigator, but I know he's interested in it. He's also become a very good friend of mine. He's been following a lot what I do. His name, I believe, is Roy. And this time when he commented where he was from, this time was from Portugal.
Portugal. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful place. How did I miss that one, Nick?
That was after we went live. So I got notified by it myself because obviously I'm an admin on the Things Network page.
So but it didn't come up in the chat. So was he commenting somewhere else?
All I know is that he commented because again, since I'm an admin, I get
right. Well, I do apologise, Roy, for missing your comment. I probably did say hi. My brain, honestly, I've got a brain fart right now. I'd love to switch my brain off and switch it back on and be like the computer. But, Eileen, it's been amazing. I'm just sorry for tech issues at the beginning.
Oh, you can't help that, can you?
We're here now. Tim says you're awesome, Lo. Really enjoying your show and the Spooky Network as I've been going through some shit in my life. Speaking to you on the subject gives me a break. Oh, Tim, it's a pleasure to always have you, Tim. And do you know what, guys? I've had this gentleman on. He's a really, really good guy. He does a show with Eric and Dan on Simply Spooky. On a Thursday night, is it, Tim? I think they're just before us. I could be wrong. But yeah, Tim's a really interested guy. He talks cryptids and I talk shite. Because it's one of the subjects. Because Tim knows himself, right? Because we had this discussion backstage. Because Tim's likes cryptids. Now, I know a few people like cryptids, right? It's not really my Aye, it's not really my thing, but I will include it in the subjects that we do, obviously, because it is popular as cryptids. But if I'm sitting there like a dummy, no speaking, then you know why, because it's not really my thing. I have no clue, so yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Seaton, I like to make myself a wee bit intellectual. I would do it with the glasses, but unfortunately I lost my glasses yesterday.
Yeah.
So God knows where I've left them. Oh well, they'll probably be out in the street somewhere, maybe, I don't know. So, so if I can't see much of the comments or I've said things backwards tonight, that's why. No glasses. But definitely, Joe
where would you like to go?
Birdie!
Where would I like to go? Oh, wow, that's a question. Definitely the States, because I absolutely adore the States. It's not just for paranormal investigating. See friends, obviously, because I've made a lot of friends, not just in England, not just in Scotland, not just in Ireland. I've made pals internationally. And a lot of my friends are in America. So I would love definitely to go there to see them, investigate. Really would love to investigate. But another big thing I really, really want to do, and Nick knows what I'm going to say, but I would love to go to needle chasing.
Yep.
Who to what?
Storm chasing.
Tornado.
Storm chaser.
Oh.
Storm chasing.
Tornado chasing. My daughter wants to do that. Yeah.
Oh. Knowing my luck, I would get soaked up and sent back to Scotland.
Go back to Kansas.
I know, tell me about that.
It's funny you brought that up, Eileen. You just mentioned about Kansas. What's actually funny is that you probably remember I posted the pictures of this, when I was at that Fear Fest event, which was in the town of Salina, which is like up in northern Kansas. And obviously, as soon as we crossed the border into Kansas, I immediately thought of Tornado Alley, because this was obviously it. But here's the thing, though, and I was so mad about this when I found out about this, but I wish we could have went to Salina a few days prior, because just like 2 or 3 days before my arrival in Salina, just outside the town of Salina, there was a tornado warning, and I saw pictures, and this was a huge tornado. I mean, based on the appearance of it, it was a half-mile wide. It was this big black monster. But fortunately, the good part was this tornado remained out in open country. It nearly missed the town of Salina, and when I found out that it was out in open field, it didn't hit anything. I can't tell you how so mad I was. Like, oh my God, like, really? I could have seen my first ever true tornado. I could have went prior, but what
They're quite terrifying, though, aren't they? They have such power.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, no doubt. The video I saw of it, it did look terrifying. I mean, it was.
I remember watching something that you did a little while ago, and you showed videos.
Oh, that would have been the long thick part. That would have been the long thick part that we did.
And Nick had a series of videos that showed the progression.
Yeah.
That was the super outbreak of 1974 that hit on April 3rd and 4th. And at that time, that was the largest tornado outbreak to have ever affected both the United States and Canada up until 2011. The 2011, which is also ironically called Super Outbreak 2, or the second super outbreak, that now holds the record, although the 74 outbreak still holds the record of being the most violent outbreak to ever affect the country.
Nick, is it like a tornado season?
Yeah.
Is it a seasonal thing?
So I'll make this, I'm going to keep it real short, but a lot of times lot of the documentaries will usually say the most active season usually occurs from April to June. However, the tornado season here never truly ends. It does move around, however. So, like, to just throw in a few examples, like in January and February, most tornadoes occur along the states, kind of along the Gulf of Mexico. In March, you have them more closer to like the Mississippi River area. April outbreaks, like the one in 1974, brings on the most devastating and deadliest tornadoes of them all. Then, of course, and then in May, it happens more in the Great Plains areas. June, by June, most of the tornadoes occur as far north as northern Canada. And then at this point now here in July, a lot of them occur not only just in Canada now, but throughout the northern states. So
it's all mainly weather related, isn't it? Because it's all about cold and warm air pressure.
Yes. Yeah.
So depending on what the weather's like will depend on what areas would get the storm warnings for tornadoes.
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
very, very powerful, aren't they? I mean, just
I mean, when you look at it, the United Kingdom actually get more tornadoes per square mile than America does.
really,
It's only
little mini
but
ones, don't we?
we only get little tiny ones, and the majority of them tend to form out at sea.
Yeah,
and I remember when I was working as a loft insulator, and I went round to a gentleman's house only half an hour away from where I live, and he turned around to me and he said, "It's a good job you didn't come yesterday when you were originally booked." And I asked him why, and he said, "Come and have a look out the back window." And when I looked out the back window, his garden overlooked a farmer's field, and all you could see was what appeared to be like a plough had gone right through across the middle of his field, had gone into the back of his garden, into his neighbour's garden, next door neighbour from that, and then back out into the field again, and then just disappeared. And he said it was a tornado, literally touched down in the middle of the field, came straight into my garden, took out my greenhouse and most of my garden, most of the neighbours, then the next one, and then disappeared off into the field. Just like that.
Wow.
And I'm like,
wow.
I missed it by a day.
And the devastation that's left behind, I suppose.
Yeah, and that was the thing. There was debris all over the place, even on the street outside at the front of his house. It looked like, there'd been like a riot or something, and people had got fence panels and stuff was still being picked up off the road.
And of course, that's an act of God. Your insurance won't cover you.
They used to say that, but now you have specific insurances, don't you? It's they used to be able to get away with that excuse, but I don't think they do that anymore now.
Yeah, they used to say it's an act of God.
Act of God.
Yeah. See, and I've done my research on not only, of course, tornadoes here in the United
Sorry,
States.
guys, I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay. See, research of tornadoes here in the United States, along with hurricanes, but I've also covered them throughout other countries, in fact. And actually, Lois has heard this before, so it doesn't even matter. But in fact, I mean, yeah, you guys get a lot of the smaller tornadoes, but I might have told you before, Wayne, though, so correct me again. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but based on my historical research, the last time, like in this case, the UK was actually struck by like a major tornado outbreak was actually back in 1954 when 7 tornadoes touched down in the downtown London area. Surprisingly, nobody was killed or injured, but the damage was quite destructive. So that was the last time like a true major outbreak ever affected the UK.
Wow.
Yeah, we only get farty little ones. They're not really. How can I class it? They're not people killers.
No, the tail of your shed or stuff like that.
They are just literally, they've hit a fence, they've hit a hedge, and then it's almost as if can't be bothered anymore, and they just disperse.
We're really rather fortunate, aren't we, that we don't get these extremes of weather like in some places.
No. Well, and if you look at an event like this one I was talking about that happened in 1954, it also kind of debunked the fact that tornadoes can hit big cities or anything like that. Because people ask, is it more common than we believe? The reality is, I mean, though we usually associate tornadoes with rural areas, open countrysides, farmlands, and fields, and sometimes, of course, water, for water spouts, over here, tornadoes can, will, and do hit downtown urban populated areas, villages, and cities. In fact, over here, not where I live, but in fact, parts of Oklahoma City have been hit more than 87 times since 1890.
Wow.
So, but in spite of that, however, I mean, for us, in spite of that number, still, however, more than 95% of the United States, Canada, Mexico, all over North America is rural. So chances are for us over here, a tornado will most likely hit a less populated area.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm quite glad I live over here.
Yeah, I mean, they are. It is a fascinating subject. Obviously, trying to predict when a tornado is coming. I mean, we know full well that a tornado is born out of a storm. So full well if the clouds start going grey, everybody starts looking up at the skies and going, "Oh, hello, could this form something nasty?" And we do it over here. We look at a cloud formation and go, "Wow, that cloud looks really strange," and there's a cone shape coming out the bottom of it. And the first thought that comes to mind is that a tornado? And you look for the rotation on it,
right?
And then, as soon as you don't see a rotation, you're like, "Nah, that's nothing. That's just the way the cloud's gone," and you ignore it. But then the following day, you'd look on the news, and someone would say there'd be some report that a tornado did touch down so many miles away from where you were at the time, and you're just like, "Oh, okay."
Well, and I know I'm thinking several months ahead. I actually am going to eventually put a new presentation together for another tornadic event, but this won't be until next year, because next year will actually mark the 100th anniversary of the deadliest tornado to have ever affected the United States, and that was the Great Tri-State Tornado of March 18th, 1925. So it was the worst, it was the deadliest, and I felt very compelled of eventually working on a slideshow for that tornado. It was horrific. That one killed 695 people.
Oh dear!
Wow.
Yeah. It was the deadliest.
Very scary.
And and when I say it's the deadliest, I mean deadliest single tornado, not like the 74 outbreak where there were multiple tornadoes. This was just one tornado that took all these lives, and it still holds the record for being the deadliest.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I'm going to quickly read the comments. Hey, Nick Birdie!
Yeah, I know that.
John says, "Who's a year young? Happy birthday!" It's just the shows this week. Joe says we're testing on our live stream tonight something that's not StreamYard. Oh, good luck, love.
Yeah, Tom and Joe, they're using a new type of program. It's similar to StreamYard, but it's different, though.
Oh, you need to let me know how it goes. Nicola says, "I want to storm chase low. You and me will go together. We'll take Eileen and land."
It's a good job. It's a good job I didn't read it the way Nicola had written it.
Well,
if I'd have read it the way Nicola wrote that, I could have
I'm saying nothing. Joe says we've got 8 and one Saturday or Sunday a few weeks ago. Holy God. Nicola says, "Wow, Wayne." That young gentleman says, "Good night, guys. Thanks for all the stories. It was interesting and funny. It's a pleasure." Sam says, "Oh, I didn't realise Sam was still watching." Good night, all. Love you all.
Pops out again.
I love you, honey. Love you. And Robert,
speaking of which,
T popped up. Yay, Birdie.
Birdie. Eileen. Okay, so I should probably explain that to Eileen, because Eileen, I've been doing obviously, I know I do a lot of podcasts, but I also do a game show with Tom, Nelly, and Joe. We do this game that's called Golf It. And it's just a fun game. I mean, we play it on StreamYard. Of course, over here it's nighttime for it. I know it's late for you guys over there, but there's a special part of the game, like if you're able, like hit a golf ball and get it like a hole-in-one. It's called a birdie. So Joe, he was the one who started this whole thing. He just started yelling out, "Birdie!" And it's so damn funny. We have a lot of fun with it, so it's great. I'm hoping one of these days, Lois, that when Joe yells that out, I can make that a ringtone sound for my phone.
Listen, I want that for my messages because I want to be somewhere and my phone's so loud and all you hear is "Birdie." Eileen,
Just go one
it's
better
been...
and go Eagle.
Eagle too.
Or an albatross.
Would be good. What is like, guys? I just want to begin to thank everybody who's.
Here's a new viewer.
Oh, I know who this is. This is Adrian. This is from Adrian from Canada. He's my pen pal.
Oh, okay.
They come
so
on.
I'll give. What, darling?
Wolfpack, come on, the Phantoms. I know Wolfpack.
Yes.
Guys,
he is.
Go ahead, Lois. Go ahead, and I'll say what I was going to say.
He is from. He's from Canada. Every time I hear his voice clips of Wes Coleman comes into my head. But definitely, guys, check out Wolfpack Paranormal Investigations GTA. They are really, really down to earth guys, and they're from Canada.
See, that's what I was going to say. This has been a real international show because obviously, in addition to people like viewers here from throughout the United States, people from Bulgaria, people from someone from Bulgaria, someone from Belgium, other people from the UK. Now we got some people from Canada. We got Robert from Australia. I mean, we're really going at it here, guys.
We really are. I've really enjoyed this show tonight. Not that I'm saying that I don't enjoy my other shows. I really, really do. But it has been great because it has been actually multinational. And do you know what? It's an amazing thing because how else would we really connect? I always say social media. I think social media at times can be a really, really terrible thing and really bad thing. But then I say to myself, if I didn't have it, I would have never in my life met Nick. I would have never in my life met Wayne, Eileen, Lynn, everybody. That's what, really? I would have never ever. So I really can't knock social media because in its way, that's how you connect with the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
But,
Yeah,
I mean,
really. And I'm
I
glad
mean, this is the thing. When I first started working with Most Haunted, I'd never expect to get, how can I put it, out there as much as I have. You know, or regardless of what people think of Most Haunted now, if it wasn't for Most Haunted, that wouldn't have been that stepping stone that I wouldn't have taken in the first place. I wouldn't be where I am now. And now I've, although I've walked away from them, those stepping stones are still there and I'm still going over them. And I'm getting further and further along without the use of them. They're in my past now, and everything that I've done from then onwards has been off my own back, nobody else's. And so when I do podcasts and things, I tend not to mention Most Haunted because I'm known mainly for what I do now.
Yeah.
Because now you're rich and famous.
That's what
I wish.
Well, and I will say this too, and Eileen, I think you and I have talked about this, because obviously it's funny, to finally really not only see you face to face, but still throughout these last few years, commented, we've messaged, and I've talked to you a couple times myself, with these international connections. So, obviously, I know you followed through with some of the stuff, but when I started trying to increase our paranormal community with these different countries, I never really thought we were going to have as many connections throughout these countries as much as we did. Sadly, of course, some of these connections that I have, where there was like in the case with Criolla from Romania.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's for some of these countries, they were the only person I was able to find. And sadly, for whatever reason, some of these people don't have their Facebooks anymore, so I no longer have connections with that country, with that particular country. But I'm always hoping sometime in the future that either they'll eventually come back, or I can at least find somebody new. But
I think, can I just say on a personal note, Nick, I really admire you for what you've done, because you really, really have worked very, very hard to bring, the world together.
Yeah.
I really admire what you do for reaching out.
I think, guys, in all honesty, we should give this man a round of applause.
Yes.
No, genuinely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I mean, that's basically what I'm all about. I mean, I live by that term para-unity, or para-family, if you want to call it that. And I've even extended to countries that, even if we're not on good terms with them, that doesn't mean, of course, that normal residents of those countries have the interest and do want to connect with us regardless. So that's because, like I told you guys before, in spite of what's still been happening, of course, sadly, between Ukraine and Russia, I had connections out both in Ukraine and Russia. Unfortunately, I lost those connections. I don't know what happened to those investigators, but as far as I was concerned, they never met each other. But because I was able to connect with them, I got along with them. But I mean, I got along with both sides great. There was no criticism or any prejudice or anything of who I was chatting with. I chatted with them and reached out to them because they have the same interests as we did, and that's all that mattered to me. It didn't, and if they were from another country, great, because it's also kind of a thought, like, if any of us decide to go to any of these other countries, now we got people in those countries we know, and we can meet up with if given the chance.
I mean, geographical location don't even come into it.
Yeah. Oh, this is this is Terry from Central Texas at NSPS TV Paranormal. Good to see you, Terry.
Hey, welcome to the show.
He's seen some of the other shows on our network, and funny enough, I myself was a guest on his show a few months ago, and so was Jeremy.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome to the show. I'm going to quickly run through the last of the comments, guys, because it's wrapping up time, unfortunately. Ringtone sound, definitely. Robert says, yeah, Joe, he can make it sound bite, make it ringtone. Adrian says, oh, thanks, Lo, you're very welcome, my sweetheart. Hi, Charles, thank you very much. It's always appreciated. Oh, Adrian, you, my darling, thank you. Robert says, only here due to Insomnia. Oh, that's a horrible thing.
Oh, we all know that one.
And he likes the show. I'm really glad. Noreen's glad to have met us all. Adrian says, I'll fire it out as far as I can for you. Adrian, honestly, I do appreciate you. Thank you very much. So, guys, I'm going to have to sadly kind of wrap this up quickly, because obviously tonight is the way it's happened. We've been a wee bit later in starting due to tech issues. Eileen, do you want to tell everybody where they will find you?
If you go onto Facebook and look for Phantom Seekers Paranormal, there we are. You'd be very well.
We'll definitely have to have you back on again real soon.
Yeah, in fact, we definitely need to do that, because obviously I feel like I've not had much time with you tonight due to tech issues. So definitely, darling, we will need to get you.
No problem, anytime. Always happy to come along. Anything for you, my darling Luby. You know I love you.
Thank you, I love you too. Gentlemen, what's happening in Wayne's World and Nickelodeon?
Every time you say that, I keep thinking of the
movie. What's happening?
Not much in Wayne's World this weekend. I am mainly moving rocks and stones at Castle Seaton, trying to get it up to scratch, and thinking about what carcasses to stick on the walls in my spookinary dungeon. and quite possibly doing some more writing because I'm overdue on my book, Overdue.
Oh, Jacqueline.
But
Hi, Jackie.
Oh, Jacqueline. Hi,
Hey,
Jacqueline.
it's going to be a fun weekend because now Ellen has just run off to the hospital after giving Ethan, my oldest son, his injection, and she caught herself with the needle.
Oh my God. Is she okay?
She's now on her way up to the hospital because Ethan's on methotrexate, which is a chemotherapy medicine, and it's a cytotoxin. And because there was a little bit on the needle and it scratched her finger, she has now got to go off up to the hospital. So we've got a neighbour who's taken her up there now. So
my thoughts.
Ellen, I hope you're okay, honey.
My thoughts for Ellen, definitely. Good luck, man. Love you.
She's got a bit panicky. So I don't blame her, to be honest, because it's not a nice. I mean, the stuff itself, even when a little drip goes on your skin or on the floor, it burns.
No.
So it's not a nice substance to get on you, but I think she'll be okay.
Jacqueline says, "Oh no, scary." Ouch. Yeah. Robert saying, and Jacqueline is saying Church Farm. Really?
She's at Skegness. I was supposed to have been there.
I was going to say Church Farm. Is that I can remember you guys went with Simply Spooky to Church Farm. It's just when it said Church Farm that it came into my head. Nick, what's happening? No, wait.
With what? Sorry,
I was just gonna add. It's a good place. I've had a ghost in the summer house, and I managed to get a picture of it. And myself, Mark, and Jacqueline, I think it was Jacqueline, or one of the members of staff, actually saw what we believe to be a UFO. Over the top, stopped right above us. It was almost as if it took a photo because it flashed, and then it just carried on. So we were just like, "Nah, that's not right."
Incredible.
That's pretty cool.
Yikes.
Anyway, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, as far as this weekend, there's not really much going to be going on. I am, however, not necessarily, I'm not trying to make this as an announcement, but there might be a possibility. I haven't decided exactly which shows just yet, but I might take a partial hiatus. Not from these shows, though. I'll still be on these ones. But I might be taking a break from some of the other shows because after this week, I really need to get back to my audiobooks. Because, like I said,
they're wonderful.
They're good. Well, you see, the problem is, I know you've heard some of them, Eileen, but I actually listened to them myself. And I did notice, unfortunately, that there were a lot of hidden mistakes that I missed. And I got to go back and refix. Not the entire stories, though, just only certain parts that have to be fixed up. So I'm also I am actually currently working on a new audiobook series that I started months ago, but I had to put that on hold so I can go through these repairs. So the entire plan is, and I want to try to get these done as quickly as possible, even though it's going to take hours, if not days, for me to go through all these stories again. But I'm planning on re-releasing them along with the new series that I'm doing. And I thought I should tell you guys this. This is actually something really cool. There is a possibility this could still change, but he said he was on board for this. So I'm sure you guys are familiar. I'm sure most of you guys probably know who Brian J. Cano is, right? From Paranormal Con.
Yep.
So he was doing a live yesterday, not on StreamYard. He was just doing like an interactive live stream. And, Brian, he's become a very good friend of mine. He knows me very well, along with Tom McNicholas, because we see him a lot at these Paracons. So at one point, and you guys are going to think immediately as I'm telling you this, he had revealed that he actually had done 2 audiobook narrations for 2 books in the past. I don't know if they were for John Zaffis or if it was for somebody else. But it's like, after I heard that just gave me an idea. So I commented on it on his video, and I asked him saying, "Well, Brian, since you've done audiobooks before, I'm actually working on a future, on a couple of future audiobooks, and I was wondering if you would be interested in wanting to be part of one of these projects, and wanting to record a story. They're short stories, so it wouldn't take that long to record. And he said he was all for it. Sign me up. He even wanted me to message him privately later today about it. So, I mean, it's still could change because of his schedule, but he's on board. I got one of the guys from Paranormal Kai on camera.
Oh wow, that is an amazing news, guys. It's always good to finish on a high note. Always on a high note on a Friday night, especially, guys. Please always remember to be kind to each other.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Lois.
Yeah.
This is a high note.
And on that note, guys, we're off. We'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.